Hello folks and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be looking at the dangers of social media. Now for this video I've chosen to look at 3 different social media sites, 2 of which I actually use. So we've got YouTube, TikTok and Facebook. So I use YouTube and Facebook, but TikTok I thought is probably the most damaging. So I thought we'll have a look at that one as well. So there's issues here with essentially what is seen as viewer retention. So all of these social networks, including Facebook, utilize algorithms that are intended to keep you glued to your screen for as long a time as possible, such that they can serve you advertisements and whatnot in between, making you basically purchase things then, and also they get paid for showing you the adverts. So how do these algorithms work? Well, for example, if you searched for England doesn't feel like England, you would get something like this, which is a horrible thing to see. And of course, if I were to see that happening, those 3 teenagers would not be simply running away. They wouldn't be able to run away, let's just say that. But as a result of looking at that, I will then see much more of that. For example, I did one time click on this lady, Emily. She's a lovely lady. I clicked on one of her videos once about how poorly men are treated by a lot of women these days. And now I am basically inundated with videos, for example, of this unique looking lady. This lady attacking this guy, apparently because she doesn't like him, fishing. You know what I mean? All of this kind of things. I also watched a video about spiders once, and I've got to say, I do think these little jumping spiders are very cute. But I am now inundated with them, especially in the shorts section. I'll try not to show too much of people's videos. And it's a lot of negative content. That doesn't look like a real brick to me. So it's a lot of negative content designed to... It engages you more when you watch negative content. And this then has an impact on your worldview and your interactions with others, because instead of interacting in good faith, you come into situations with predetermined anger already in you, because you've been exposed to well, not like this is funny. I mean, that is quite funny. But you come into these situations already with a bit of anger now in you. For example, I mean, videos like this are useful, that's funny, but for example, if I was to go back to my homepage on here, and all I'm seeing is, for example, this woman's here, her camera died, and I'm guessing all of these individuals then mobbed her. And I'm seeing here that she looks a bit crazy, and that these women are being aggressive to men. If I'm bombarded with this, that is naturally going to have an impact on how I potentially am going to interact with people. Now, social media sites don't care about that at all. They don't care about your interactions with people. They don't care about society. They're a business. They're there to make money, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to do is raise a bit of awareness as to how these websites work, so that you can be aware of what they're doing and how it might be influencing your mindset or your interactions with people, and how you can limit that. So, for example, TikTok allows... I'm not on TikTok, but it allows you to use it as a guest, because they are that desperate to get you to sign up. Now, most of these videos are silly. I mean, that's disgusting. I can understand why people do want to watch it. That is disgusting. He's pulling what looks like an insect out of his arm. I mean, look, I'm sitting here watching it now. That is absolutely disgusting. But you see, what it's doing right now is it's serving me a good variety of content, such that I will then watch one of them and go, oh, this has annoyed me, these cats doing that, and then I'll get served more of that content. And they are desperate for me to do that, so they give me guest access, basically, which most social media accounts won't let you do, but they do. So here I am on my Facebook profile for my YouTube channels where I share my videos and whatnot. And immediately I'm bombarded with let's let the DEI folks pick the fruits and all this stuff. Now, I am staunchly against DEI, but you can't forget about any of this negative stuff unless you delete these social media accounts, for example. You go on your Facebook, and this is essentially my business page, but immediately I'm bombarded with this. I guess this is meant to be negative. I don't really know how I feel about tattoos, whether they're traditional or not, being on TV. I don't really like tattoos on women. I think it defeminizes women, but that's just me. If you want to get tattoos, you do as you like. And things like this, which I'm pretty sure are made up. I'm pretty sure Dwayne Johnson isn't leaving the United States, but this is put there to make you angry, you see, or to people put a laughing emoji on there, sort of thing. But the idea is that you then go in the comments, and I'm guessing if I go in the comments, it's going to be, yeah, you're stupid for believing this, I'm not a fan of him, he's an idiot, he should move, it's not his nickname, it's his intelligence, this sort of thing. And it's negativity, and it's because you engage more with negativity than you do with positive content. And this is true of me as well. I've fallen into this as well. You do engage more with it. So what can you do? You can't really override the algorithm, unfortunately, but what you can do is refuse to engage with it. So, for example, if there's something here like this, I think they're just posting this with all these different tags on there to get as much viewing as possible and as much engagement without actually providing you any content. So I would simply click on these three dots, and I won't report it because I don't really see the point, but I'll just hide all of that. Now, you're going to have to do this a lot, but it's worthwhile doing it so that it's not constantly feeding you negativity all the time. Because that negativity is a type of brain rot, really, that will get into you, and it will actually influence how you live your life and how you interact with others. And they've all, Facebook call it Reels, YouTube call it Shorts, but this is especially brain rot because these are so short that as you watch them, you get a release of dopamine in your brain, but you don't actually take in any information. For example, most of these videos are so short, you'll see him dunk that in the fat, take it out. You don't know how he seasoned any of this. You don't know how hot he's had to get that. You don't know any of that information in order to actually do anything with that. And you immediately forget it. And as well as immediately forgetting it, it actually lowers your attention span for other things then, where you, because of watching all these shorts, you then have reduced attention span in conversations with people, for example. You know, if you're bored for even a second, you whip your phone out and you start watching these shorts because your brain wants that dopamine hit. This is essentially like a drug, although it's not a physical thing on your brain. It doesn't actually hit you like if you were to take drugs, for example, they would hit your brain in a physical way, getting into your neuroreceptors and then making you want that. This is more of a psychological thing. Immediately, you now are engaged with this. You want to see what's happening. Why is what's happening between these two? And then you skip to the next one. You've now basically forgotten about that video. Oh, and you're like, huh, that's funny. They've just chucked loads of water on him. Oh God, look at that. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, and you skip to the next video. And this guy's watching him do something wrong with his noodles, I guess. He's not using the chopsticks correctly. Or they think it's funny that he doesn't know how to speak the language properly. I don't know. But again, you move on. Banana and ice. Oh, what's that like? Oh, that's funny. Okay, and again, you move on. You learn nothing. I mean, can you tell me what was in the first video? I can vaguely remember it. It was a girl and a guy, and they were having some sort of disagreement about one wants to go out with her, and she's got a boyfriend or something. But you start to forget, and as you skip through these, and this is just on Facebook. This isn't even the worst offender. Oh look, he can buy me a new one. No, he's going to fix it. Okay, that's great. But again, as funny as that is, it's actually, again, a commentary on the negative sort of relationship between men and women that is propagating through society at this time. See, so gradually now you'll forget as you watch these videos what was on the last one. And this is TikTok's entire premise. It's short videos that you watch, it keeps you engaged, but you learn nothing. It's brain rot. And this is especially bad when you're talking about young kids and teenagers. Now, I'm sure most of these social networks say you can't use it unless you're 13, but there's no sort of age ideal verification or anything on there. So you will be able to simply sign up to one of these, and people experience bullying and body dysmorphia and just the general compare and despair that is found. For example, you might be watching this and going, oh, well, my workplace doesn't give me a £2 lobster for work. I hate my workplace. This is the worst thing ever. But you don't know if this is even real or not. But your brain is now comparing that, and you're now becoming disenfranchised and disenchanted with your own life and your place in society because this social media has made you feel that way. So, for me personally, I would never use TikTok. I think it is brain poison, but that's just me. I would avoid, if you can, you watching shorts. For example, my son has YouTube, but I say to him, and it's not possible to enforce it all the time, but I say to him, do not watch the shorts, because the shorts are what brain rot. You don't learn anything. Stick to long form content, and if you haven't got the time to watch it, then obviously you're busy and you should do something else. But stick to the long form content. Try to avoid adding absolutely everyone you've ever met onto your Facebook account, for example, because people tend to post stuff that isn't necessarily 100% truthful. So you may look at their posts and think, oh my god, their life is wonderful, why isn't my life like that? But the fact is, people would tend to post mostly extremely positive or extremely negative stuff on their social media, both of which are essentially for attention, because that's what social media is, and I don't have an issue with that. I understand that's the human want. We all want a bit of attention. We want to feel that we are valued and that we are doing well in life. But you shouldn't compare yourself to others on there, and you should really keep an eye on what your children are doing on social media, because it's going to affect them much more than it will us adults. I've already seen how it's affected adults in terms of their ability to interact with others and whatnot. I can only imagine what it's doing to a child's brain. And it's not going to be doing anything good at all, where their brains are developing still. And I mean, this guy, he does some funny reaction stuff and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is, again, it's just brain rot. So to sum up, I would avoid TikTok entirely. If you have to use things like Facebook and YouTube Shorts, maybe try and limit yourself. Try and say, I only watch them a tiny bit in the morning and then nothing else during the day. And definitely do not let your children use the shorts functions on these things. Educate them on the damage it does to you and to their brains, and perhaps put restrictions on their phones so they can't access this stuff, because these companies know what they're doing. They exist to keep you glued to your screen as much as possible. I mean, that is comedically humorous. But again, you could sit for hours just watching this and you accomplish nothing in that time. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video, found it useful. If you have, please remember to hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, check out my Patreon and share this video on your socials. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day.